Hey, Sassy Stuff. I'm Emma back with Molly for another locker room talk. And today we're going to talk about how the SEC and the Big Ten are trying to reshape how the college football playoff works. So, a quick summary of what's coming. Obviously, everyone's trying to expand the CFP to 16 teams. They want a new play in format so that they get guaranteed spots in the playoff. And this is just really causing a lot of drama with the fairness of it all with conferences that aren't the Big Ten and the SEC, and also how these teams are going to schedule. I mean, will we see a four-loss team like Iowa in the playoffs next year or 2 years from now with what they're trying to do? So, I mean, this is going to be a very interesting change if they do get their way. And why this is happening, I mean, this is constant in college football. They're chasing more revenue. They want more games. They get more commercial spots. Everything's about the money here. The conference realignment has made new media right deals. The playoff restructuring is all driven by money. I mean, this is a new era of athlete compensation with NIL and revenue sharing. It means conferences need more revenue. So adding more games is a big part of that. So expanding the playoff provides more TV games, keeps fan bases engaged later in the season. And the current 12-team model just isn't even fully implemented yet. We had a 1 year of it and they're already trying to change it all. So they want it obviously to work in their favor. So how do you feel about the Big Ten and the SEC really trying to overhaul how the playoff is working in their favor?
I mean, at the end of the day, those are, the top two dominant conferences in the NCAA. So I can kind of see how they're getting away with having a little bit more of an attitude towards literally anything. Because that's what it feels like. I feel like when I read these articles, I'm like picturing these men sitting at like a conference table being like, no, our conference wants this. And that's literally how I picture this. It's probably how it's happening. But I don't it's hard for me because I don't love that college football is so much more about money now than it was just about the sport, even 10 years ago. I think I've said that time and time again. But I kind of get it. Like I think because those are the top two conferences, I feel like they should have a little bit more of leeway with this.
I agree and disagree. I mean, the SEC and the Big Ten in a 16-team playoff want four automatic bids. And how they get to that is the two teams that play for the conference championship, they both get playoff spots already. And then the teams ranked third through six have two play-in games. So 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. The winner of those games get those automatic two other bids. So it's essentially like a mini playoff inside each conference. Looking at last year in the Big Ten, Oregon versus Penn State for the title. Both of those teams would get in. Then Indiana versus Iowa at 3-6, and Ohio versus Illinois at 4-5. I mean, if Iowa beat Indiana, a four-loss team with losses to a 5-7 Michigan State and UCLA gets to be in the CFP. So, I mean, I do see it opening up more opportunities across the board in those conferences because then you could have had Ole Miss in there and you could have had South Carolina or Bama, any of those teams that were right on the edge with Georgia and Texas getting that automatic bid. Even Missouri, I mean, that was going to be a massive tiebreaker, a lot of chaos going around even more so. But it really keeps everyone really interested because you're like, yeah, a four-loss team could get into the playoffs, but only in these two conferences.
I mean, and it could, in theory, like it could water down some playoff games. Like there could be. I mean, this could go 100 ways. And the thing is, like, I think college football is continually changing. Like they're always making changes. Like this is not new. Every season they're trying to push for something different. I have always been a fan of adding a couple playoff games because I felt like last year there were some teams that didn't get to go to the playoffs that I felt like deserved a playoff spot. So I think this could open up, from my view, more opportunity, but I also could see the con list being long. Like the fact that, like, I also don't want to get to the playoffs as Texas and be playing like some dumb team, like I would prefer that it be a good playoff season. And maybe, I mean, that could be my advantage as a Texas fan, is that like we might get an easier bracket to win the national championship. I have no idea. But once again, I think that benefits my team, but not all teams. And so, and everybody's going to have something to say about it. Like there's not everybody's going to be happy, and I'm fully aware of that, but I do think that it could open more opportunity for the majority of us.
Yeah, in these 2 conferences. I mean, I don't think the ACC or the Big 12, Pac-12 is ever gonna agree to this or like this by any means, but at the end of the day, the SEC and the Big 10 bring in the most money. Notre Dame isn't gonna like this either, but you know what? They can join a conference. But I mean, the Big 10 and the SEC are really just overhauling everything because they have the resources to do so. I mean, they're even floating an annual SEC versus Big Ten matchup, but it is unlikely. The purpose here is to just strengthen their schedules, boost media value, and sway the CFP committee because they're like, okay, well, like you guys are, Texas is playing Ohio State first game of the season. Like that's a big, big game. And
Yes.
especially if that game is close, um, that could look really well in the eyes of the CFP. First game of the season, very close, very competitive. So even if you are a 3-loss team, maybe you do get that 12th spot or 16th spot in the playoffs. So, I mean, these harder matchups really should be taken
Yeah.
into account at the end of the day. But then you look at it with what they're trying to do 16v16 and SEC schools like Florida and Georgia and Kentucky, South Carolina, they already play ACC rivals yearly. And the Big Ten already plays 9 conference games. So, I mean, this would just be a lot of changes to the schedule. So it would be very interesting. But I mean, at the end of the day, it looks like the Big Ten and the SEC are really trying to overhaul what is happening in college football in their favor. I don't blame them for it because they do bring in the most revenue. But it is going to be really interesting to see moving forward, especially in the coming weeks when we do find out what is going to happen in 2026. Will we stick with 12, go 14, go 16, and then see kind of where the conferences go from there?
Yeah, I think finding the sweet spot, like maybe 14 would be a good number. I think 16 is really pushing it. It's just my opinion, but
And I'm like, more football, more football, more football.
I'm just like, make it 20 games. Let's go.
Do it.
No, I think 16 is pushing it. I think 14 would be a happy medium. We'll find a little bit of a sweet spot. It'll allow a couple more teams in. And maybe your Bama people can be in. I
You
don't
know
know.
what? I think we should just win all our games.
I
See what
don't see that
happens.
happening. It's okay. Oh, yeah. What is it like to be a Bama fan these days?
You know
Yeah.
what? I think next year is gonna be really great. We'll see. See. I'm excited.
Well, Sassy stuff, you guys let us know in the comments what you think. Should it be 8, 10, 12, maybe 16? Who knows? How many games do you think we should have? How are you guys feeling about this? Drop in the comments below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, and we'll see you next time.